This video underscores NTUC's commitment to caring and taking action for all workers. The red U emoji represents NTUC, and the other colored U emojis represent NTUC's dedication to the different worker segments, exemplifying our continued work and progress since the Every Worker Matters conversation in 2023. This year's May Day Rally is themed, "In Solidarity, we take action because we care." This symbolizes NTUC's commitment to bettering the wages, welfare, and work prospects for all workers. It also serves as a testament to NTUC's dedication to addressing the evolving needs of workers, because every worker matters.
NTUC cares, and we are taking action to fuel youth's ambition to thrive, enable mid-careers to stay relevant, connect older workers with opportunities to retire securely, equip vulnerable workers with adequate resources, support caregivers who provide for others. We take action because we care. NTUC cares, and we are taking action to fuel youth's ambition to thrive, enable mid-careers to stay relevant, connect older workers with opportunities to retire securely, equip vulnerable workers with adequate resources, support caregivers who provide for others. We take action because we care.
All right, sisters and brothers, a very good morning to all of you this morning. My name is Cyril and I will be your MC for today. Welcome to May Day Rally 2024. It is such a wonderful feeling to see everyone again this year. We are coming to you live for May Day Rally 2024. We'd like to invite all of you to kindly scan the QR code. You can tune in since 9 a.m. and you can catch, of course, our Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong live as he delivers the May Day Rally speech. Please share this YouTube link on your social media channels to your family and friends. We'll also like to invite all of you to take your seats right now as we are about to commence. Before we start, I'd like to remind all of you to please put your mobile devices to silent. Once again, take your seats and put your mobile devices to silent. May I now request all of you to turn your attention to the screen for a short safety video by Marina Bay Sands.
Welcome to Sands Expo and Convention Center. Before you embark on your journey, please allow us to go through the safety measures implemented throughout Marina Bay Sands. Your safety is our utmost priority. All of our meeting venues and facilities undergo disinfections after every use. High touch points are sanitized regularly.
When you discover a fire or smoke in the building, listen to the announcement and stand by for further instructions. In the event of an evacuation, please move in an orderly manner via the nearest emergency exit door and staircase to the designated emergency assembly area. Our fire wardens and team members will be on site to guide you to the emergency assembly area safely.
Now sit back and relax. We look forward to creating unforgettable memories together with you here at Sands Expo and Convention Center.
The 1st of May marks Labour Movement's biggest day where we come together as one to celebrate our workers, their hard work, tenacity, resilience and contributions. Today we will continue to forge strong relationships with workers and support them in their work, live and play needs through every life stage. As we continue this journey, we remain deeply committed to protecting and caring for our members because in solidarity, we take action because we care. NTUC is committed to bettering the wages, welfare and work prospects for all workers because every worker matters. All right, sisters and brothers, we should be starting our rally shortly, so we'd like to invite one and all to kindly take your seats, And as you all know, if you have attended May Day Rally, we always take a Labour Movement family photo during the rally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through what's going to happen right now. Again, we invite our sisters and brothers to take your seats. Okay, those of you, sisters and brothers, are you here? Yes or no? Good morning. All right. The central block is where our ministers are right in front of me. Those of you on the left and right. Because there's so many of you, later on, once Prime Minister comes in, we're going to invite everybody to remain standing, and then we're going to invite those of you on the left and right to stand up and move to the center. For those of you that have gone to the army, this is the squeeze process. Can we all do that? Yes? Hello, Canada! Thank you very much. That means those of you down there, stand up and move and squeeze to the center. Those of you that side as well, stand up and squeeze to center when I tell you to do so. Can we do that? Yes? Thank you so much, sisters and brothers. I will also explain what is going to happen during the photo taking. All the handsome and beautiful cameramen and women will come to the center. The first photo we are going to take, because there's so many of you, is going to be a panoramic photo. A panoramic photo. That means they're probably going to take shots of you from left to right and right to left, all right? So what you need to do during that segment is to perhaps you can display the U as in NTUC, or you can display a heart shape with your fingers. All right? Okay? Okay? Yes. And then after that, we are going to take the momentous labor movement photo. I will count down 3, 2, 1. All of you have to punch the air and say, Happy May Day. All right, can we try that now? Can we try that now? You're seated. I don't want you to move now, because if I ask you to move now, you will all kill me. Later on, you will get you to move. But now, let's try this, okay? I will count 3, 2, 1. You punch the air and shout out loud, Happy May Day. All right, stand by. Stand by. Everybody, on the count of 3, 2, 1. Ayo, let it happy. Come on, everybody, let's do it again. On the count of 3, 2, 1. Happy May Day! All right, later on, all of you will be taking photographs. We'll be taking photographs of all of you. Don't worry, the lights will come on for later. The lights will come on for later. Well, to commemorate this joyous occasion, we have many, many celebrations and events for our members, workers, union leaders, and tripartite partners. I'm going to take you through the list. On the 10th of May, May Day Awards and dinner will be held where we honor individuals and organizations, our union leaders, tripartite partners, and workers for their contributions in advancing our workers' interests together with the labor movement. And then the May Day Fiesta. May Day Fiesta will take place on the 25th of May at Downtown East. On the 2nd of June, we will have our May Day domestic employee celebrations with a photography competition to showcase the talents of our migrant domestic workers. And then we will have our May Day migrant workers celebration and concert at MWCRC at Soon Lee and Tuas View Dormitory on the 23rd of June. Be sure to check out all these celebrations as we recognize and appreciate the contributions of the migrant workers and domestic employees. All right. Okay. You guys are here. Some of you are here really, really early. Are you all ready for some warm-up? Everybody, take out the clappers that you found on your seat. Come on, take out the clappers that you found on your seat. All of you. Take it out, take it out, take it out. Yes, yes, yes. If you are ready, okay, if you are ready, clap as loudly as you can. Come on, yes. Okay, okay, okay. All right, now we're going to do a combination of things. Let's see how good you guys are on May Day. All right, on May Day. Let's try this. Everybody, stand by. Stand by with the clappers. Every time I put my hands in the air, you clap. Okay, I put my hands in the air, you clap. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. No. Clap once. Okay. Instruction lousy. Let's try this again. 3, 2, 1. Again. Clap. All right, that's good. Rest. I'm going to split the whole ballroom into 2, okay? I mean in the central block. Those of you on this side, clap your clappers now. Come on this side, clap your clappers. Thank you very much. Now, over to this, on the left side, clap your clappers now, clap. Thank you. Okay, we are going to do this. Those of you on the right, watch, when I point to you with my hand, all of you, collectively, you go, huh. Can you all do that? Not with the clappers, with your voice. You go, huh. Watch. Let's try this. Happy May Day. Now, let's try this side, this side. When I point to you, all of you, you go, ha! Okay, ha! Watch the hand, watch the hand. Here we go. Louder, come on, let's try this. Your side. Remember, hand, watch. Okay, ready up? This is a test between the left and the right. Watch the hand. Watch the hand. And then with your clappers as well. We are ready for the May Day Rally. Here we go. Stand by, guys. Watch the hand. Watch, watch. Everybody was everybody come on, members. Hands up, come on. Focus now, focus on the hand. All right, come on, let's do this. Watch. Hand is important. Watch. Everybody, come on. Come on. Yeah. Thank you so much, sisters and brothers. A big hand for yourself, everybody. Sit tight as we await for Prime Minister's arrival. sisters and brothers, welcome to May Day Rally 2024. Making a grand and triumphant comeback this year, allow me to introduce our 86 Flags Party. Please join me in honoring our flag bearers with the most resounding applause they have ever heard. Come on! Look at them marching in with such pride and purpose. This year, our Flags Marching contingent has risen to the challenge, executing a whole new formation that will enable you to see the flags wherever you are seated. Keep your eyes peeled as our flag bearers march proudly through all columns in this grand ballroom. Comprises representatives from our 65 unions and associations, 7 social enterprises, 8 workforce groups and communities, and 6 related organizations. The flags represent the strength of our labor movement and showcase the spirit of solidarity. We may belong to different unions, associations and communities, but we are always one labor movement, one NTUC. This is a testament to our unbreakable bond that binds us as one NTUC family. Next up, moving ahead of the entourage, the flags of our tripartite partners. Ministry of Manpower, National Trade Union Congress, and the Singapore National Employers Federation, standing tall as a suit, a sign of the strong tripartite relationship among the partners. This symbolizes Singapore's unique tripartite partnership of a competitive advantage that has underpinned our economic progress and social development and enabled us to ride through any storm. The Flags Party reflects how our labour movement family has continued to grow in numbers and representation, showing our commitment to putting workers at the heart of everything we do and helping them secure better wages, welfare and work prospects, because every worker matters. And now, sisters and brothers, please rise and join us as we welcome our Prime Minister, Brother Lee Hsien Loong, Sister Ho Ching, accompanied by NTUC President Sister K. Thanalakshmi, NTUC Secretary General Brother Chi Meng, our tripartite partners, Minister for Manpower Brother Tan Si Leng, President of the Singapore National Employers Federation, Brother Robert Yap, our May Day Rally 2024 chairpersons, Brother Andy Lim, Brother Tan Richard, and Brother Tuvinder Singh. Come on! How about a rousing round of applause? Yes! And now, sisters and brothers, we invite all of you to remain standing. Remain standing because this is apt as we're going to take our annual May Day family photo. So I need all of you, those of you not in the central block, on the left and right. Now, quickly move inwards, squeeze. Yes, yes, left and right. Squeeze towards the center. Fill up all the open spaces behind. Yes, yes. Come on. Quickly move on in or come on in, and then we will take our family photo together. As I mentioned, we're going to take 2 photos. The first one, panoramic, because there's so many of you. And then after that, we will have the countdown 3, 2, 1 as you punch the air and shout Happy May Day. Okay, we're still waiting for the back to quickly move in. All right, this is our squeeze part. Come on in a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. Okay, the back people there, in. Okay, first one, panoramic. So you can do the heart, you can do the U, up to you. Try not to block people's faces behind, okay? But you need to hold it there for about 15 seconds because it's panoramic, all right? Everybody, are you ready? Come on, here we go. You, heart shape, heart shape, heart shape. Big smile, big smile, big smile. Panoramic photo going on. Keep smiling. Smile, 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 smile. Hang on, photographers in front, please. Our official photographer, please bend down, okay? All right, now put down your hands, everybody. Stand by. We're going to do 2 or 3 good ones, okay? 3, 2, 1. Happy May Day. We're going to do it 2 or 3 because so many of you try and capture every angle. If you guys are ready, stand by your right hand on the count of 3, 2, 1. Happy May Day. Stand by. One more. 3, 2, 1. Happy May Day. Thank you so much, sisters and brothers. Thank you. Please take your seats. The rest of you, slowly make your way back. Find your seats. Take your seats. Thank you so very much. Thank you. That was truly awesome, sisters and brothers. Thank you so much for your help and cooperation. And now, sisters and brothers, we'd like to invite all of you to gaze upon the screen for the unveiling of our opening video. Through spoken word poetry, experience the power of unity in this heartfelt journey of solidarity in action. Together, let us rejoice in the celebration of the head, heart, hands, and habits that bind us together as one NTUC family. Our unwavering commitment of the NTUC, shoulder to shoulder in the face of any challenge. In solidarity, we take action because we care.
Solidarity. What does it mean? But unity between you and me.
Solidarity isn't about making a noise, taking a stand, or even having a plan.
It's about rolling up your sleeve
and lending a helping hand.
It's about lifting up those with less than when no one else can, with arms that hold steady in the storm.
So you can keep on keeping on. Because life's hard enough, you can't do it alone. Me has to become we.
For a house to be a home.
Don't worry. These aren't just paper promises. We'll share the burdens that you carry.
Make the future a little less scary.
So you can move forward.
Or stand on a stage as the next big thing.
Embrace the change
that life will always bring. Influence a generation of people, not defined by paper qualifications.
Instead, be leaders who lead
with utmost conviction.
For workers, by workers. That's the commitment of our compact.
Our way of taking action. For you, with you.
Every action we take, we do so with care. To make a difference in the world out there.
Because without you, there is no
We will keep striving and promoting inclusivity to build a fairer society, even in times of uncertainty.
Good morning, Prime Minister Brother Lee Hsien Loong, distinguished guests, sisters and brothers. A very warm welcome to May Day Rally 2024. It is with great pleasure that we are gathered here today to celebrate the spirit of unity and progress. We would now like to invite NTUC Secretary General Brother Ng Chee Meng to deliver his opening address. SG, please.
Good morning, Prime Minister Brother Lee Hsien Loong, Cabinet Ministers, NTUC President Sister Tana, fellow Central Committee members, Staff President Brother Robert Yap, tripartite partners spread across the whole room, PAP comrades, sisters and brothers. Welcome to May Day Rally 2024. Today, we are here to celebrate the dedication and hard work of our labor movement towards bettering lives and livelihoods and towards our nation building to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation. Just this morning, I received a text from a dear friend and a loyal supporter of the labor movement. He told me that May Day is actually a birth of the symbiotic partnership between the PAP and the NTUC all the way back in 1960. When the PAP rose to power in 1959, it delivered on the promise to make May Day a Labor Day a holiday. So even as we celebrate May Day today, let us celebrate it with gusto because it marks the journey we have taken together as a country and as a symbiotic partner of the PAP that built Singapore to where we are today. Happy May Day again. However, brothers and sisters, we celebrate May Day in an increasingly uncertain and tumultuous world. There is a trade war ongoing, reversing globalization, impacting economies. There is a tech war bifurcating frontier technologies in artificial intelligence, in computer chips, and even upstream into the raw materials. And most worrying, hot wars have resurfaced in the world, in Europe, in the Middle East, and closer to home, Taiwan Straits and the Korean Peninsula remains potential flashpoints. Societies around the world are under pressure. Inflation has remained elevated. Income and wealth inequality have widened across different working classes in society. And the political and social divides have sharpened. In many countries, many workers are taking to strikes to voice their unhappiness and resolve their issues. In the US, in the last year, the number of workers involved in major strike activities rose by 280% compared to 2022, just in 1 year. The automobiles workers' strike is one of the largest in their history. Even writers and actors in Hollywood went on strike to fight for better pay, working conditions, and even protest against artificial intelligence using their likeness without fair compensation. it is a different world. PMEs are agitating too. Across the United Kingdom, nurses, doctors, including surgeons, have gone on strike since 2022. In particular, the nurses' union, who had had labor management harmony for 106 years, went on strike. Closer to home, in South Korea, some 12,000 junior doctors walked off their jobs to protest the government's plan to increase the number of medical students, which the country needs. They say they're underpaid, overworked, and they want their voices heard. Increasingly, PMEs have heightened job insecurities and anxieties. Technologies that once only displays skills-based jobs today are threatening more and more knowledge-based jobs, PME jobs. PMEs across different parts of the world, even the ones from tech giants like Google, are ready to take industrial action for their voices to be heard. But thankfully, brothers and sisters, in Singapore, we have enjoyed industrial harmony for decades. But sometimes, we do take this for granted, and we think that the harmony is the natural state of things, come what may. But we know that this is not true. We need to guard against such complacent thinking. Industrial harmony is not the natural state of things. It takes careful nurturing, give and take. It took the labor movement, our Singapore government and our employers to work hard to build and forge trust, took concerted actions, forge win-win outcomes, and transform Singapore from a third world nation to where we are today, celebrating May Day in a cosmopolitan city-state in MBS. Tripartism remains key to Singapore's success, achieving economic growth, to achieve better wages, better welfare, and better work prospects for all our workers, including our PMEs. Over the years, we have in NTUC championed our workers' interests across all worker segments. Whether you are a youth, a caregiver, a mature worker, or a low-wage worker, we have done our very best to champion your interests. We have listened deeply during our Every Worker Matters conversation just last year and helped the youths jumpstart their careers and navigate an unfamiliar workplace. We have championed flexible work arrangements, supporting those brothers and sisters that need to balance dual roles between the jobs and the homes. And in so doing, we kept many in employment, and we brought some, especially our sisters, back into employment. We have strengthened employability, enhanced retirement adequacy, and uplifted workers' wages by upping productivity at the same time. Apart from these, more companies, I'm glad, are coming forward to establish company training committees, our CTCs. To date, we have formed over 2,100 CTCs across all the sectors of our economy. Well, it must be from the people in charge of CTCs. CTCs institutionalize training for all our workers to improve their productivity on one hand and to do better business outcomes for the employers on the other hand, and thereby achieve win-win outcomes for both businesses and workers. In fact, when I visited ST Engineering Land Systems a couple of weeks ago, I asked ST, what can NTUC do better? And the Vice President, Andrew De Silva, quipped to me that NTUC, you guys, should have started CTCs earlier. He says it's a no-brainer, it's a win-win. And that constructive criticism actually was music to my ears. I wish the NTUC had started CTCs earlier too. Well, CTCs are making a difference on the ground. Whether you're an SME or an MNC, we are glad to be able to partner businesses towards a better outcome. On this May Day, therefore, my brothers and sisters, let us take pride that Singaporeans, our employers, our government, continue to believe in our NTUC and treasure our unique tripartite arrangement. Unlike many other countries in the world, especially in the unions that are experiencing declining membership, NTUC has steadily grown our membership base. In fact, over the last 3 years, NTUC have grown 30%. Today, I'm proud to say that NTUC have more than 1.3 million members. Brothers and sisters, since 2019, our innovation in our union business model, our innovation in our membership model, and our innovation in our training model have borne first fruit. So well done to all of you. And therefore, this May Day, let us celebrate our accomplishments and take heart, because it is a testament to all the valuable work that all of you have done within your unions, within NTUC ARU, to achieve all this alongside our tripartite partners in government and in employers. Thank you so much for your hard work, and may we take pride in NTUC and our labour movement on this May Day. Amidst all the different challenges I highlighted, I'm glad your good work has extended to PMEs too. But humbly, we say we can do more to help our PMEs along. Today, PMEs constitute more of our workforce, and in time to come, PMEs will form the majority of the Singapore workforce given our evolving education landscape. In this space, NTUC has worked hard, and I'm glad that we have achieved several milestones. We are protecting PMEs better. We have the campus framework today to level the playing field for Singaporean PMEs. And the upcoming workplace fairness legislation to promote workplace fairness and safeguard workers against discrimination will go some way to safeguard PMEs' interests as well. We are improving HR practices in Singapore by empowering HR practitioners through collaboration with the Institute for Human Resource Professionals. During layoffs, we represent our members, whether blue or white collar, rank and file, or PMEs, to negotiate with companies for better packages and to provide placement assistance to ease the transition. The Lazada retrenchment earlier this year is a case in point. NTUC and our Food and Drinks and Allied Workers Union stepped in to protect the rights of our members. The workers affected not only were rank and file, but included senior analysts, managers in commercial, finance, and marketing divisions. Younger, qualified PMEs who previously had no idea what NTUC does approached NTUC for assistance to advocate for their interests. After accepting that the exercise could have been done better, I'm glad Lazada came to the negotiation table and with FDAWU to provide better support for our retrenched members with an improved package. Our unions today can protect all members, whether you are PME or rank and file, and we will continue to do better in this space. And today, I'm happy to share with all of you, brothers and sisters, that PMEs constitute 45% of our NTUC membership base. This is important because it mirrors the ratio of PMEs in the national level as well. What it means is that we are making good progress and we are moving in the right direction as a labour movement to be representative of workers across all worker segments. Doesn't matter where you are, we will represent you. But more can be done, especially a sister, I won't tell you what union came up to me and said that, Brother Chim Meng, happy May Day, well done for the PMEs, but certainly you will do more for us, right? Yes, indeed, more can be done. Just as we have done for all other worker segments, we can do more to help PMEs progress in their careers. Take ST Engineering Staff Union, STASU, and All Collar Union, for example. STASU and ST Engineering set up a CTC in July 2021. With strong support from Vincent Chong and his management team, we started 12 CTC projects to enhance productivity and improvements. I had the opportunity to visit Ravi and ST Engineering Land Systems to witness how projects like the 3D scanner, how it helped reduce the man-hour required for production time. From a whopping 14 days in the past, now to 2 to 4 days, almost 700% in productivity measured by man-hours. Another of the project was the robotics painting system to improve paint consistency and quality. What required once hours of laborious, skilled manual work can now be accomplished in half the time. Not only that, the solution also enhanced workplace safety by eliminating employee exposure to hazardous fumes. Our workers benefited, acquired new skills, and now have better wages, and in the Industry 4.0 age, have better work prospects. And of these completed projects, 60% of the workers benefited were rank and file, 40% up to engineering level benefited from this CTC's project as well. And I could see in their faces when I visited, when they briefed me, how proud they were to be able to lead such productivity drives in ST Engineering. And rightly so, because the PME, our brothers that are in the rank and file, stood shoulder to shoulder and did what they could and made a difference in their company and in their lives as well. So well done to ST Engineering Land Systems. But that's not the point of my story. What drove the point home for me was when I met Vincent separately. He and his team shared with me that ST Engineering wanted to join forces with NTUC to expand the CTCs further. Nowhere else in the world have I seen employers proactively engaging unions to push workers' interests and company interests together. They say by leveraging their influence as a queen bee in this sector, they want to encourage their suppliers to join the NTUC programs so that the suppliers can benefit from the good work of the company training committees as well. So well done again to all our workers, our brothers and sisters on the ground. STASU is but one of them. I'm very much encouraged and enthused by ST Engineering, and I'm very delighted to be alongside them to embark on this journey. The benefit of the CTCs extends beyond ST Engineering, obviously. Across 150 unique companies that have accessed the CTC grant, more than 3,000 workers will receive an average wage increase of 5% on top of their usual annual increment, and will benefit also from enhanced career development plans. For partners, therefore, many of you are here in the red t-shirt. For partner companies, therefore, that have yet embarked on us with the CTC, I strongly encourage you to partner our NTUC on this win-win journey. Besides the CTC, partnering progression, we are also bringing our career guidance and placement services closer to our PMEs. We have recently opened a career center in OMB in the heart of Shenton Way, so that we can make it more convenient for our PMEs to access our services. In this short time, I'm delighted to hear that the majority of our clients were PMEs, with some earning even more than $8,000. What is more heartening, our career centers are now serving a wider ranging profile of PMEs. We have had an equity advisor, a cybersecurity manager, and you might find it hard to believe, even a chief operating officer from the financial sector. Ms. Natana Boone is an example of a mid-career PME who has benefited from career guidance at E2I. Last year, she resigned from a managerial position in one of the Big Four accountancy firms and decided, quite bravely, to transit into the dynamic world of IT consultancy. However, she needed some help. Having gone through the relevant training, she turned to NTUC to seek career coaching services. With the guidance of a career coach, she honed her networking skills, enhanced her digital profile, attended targeted workshops, and customized her resume for the IT consultancy role. And her hard work paid off. In 3 months, Natana secured a senior consultant role in a reputable IT company. And we are just so proud that we have made a difference in her journey of transition. For over 6 decades now, the labor movement has championed the interests of our workers. As I said just now, regardless of whether you are a youth, a mature worker, a low-wage worker, a freelancer, PME, we will continue the journey with you and take action for you because NTUC cares. To our PMEs, even as we celebrate our initial successes today, know that this is only a base from which we will scale new heights together with you. Together with your support, we will strive to do more and do better as a labor movement towards a better future, better lives, better livelihoods for all working people in Singapore. Brothers and sisters, let me now switch gears. This May Day will be the last one that Brother Lee Hsien Loong will join us as Prime Minister. Since the PM transition announcement, there has been numerous tributes to thank PM Lee for his lifetime of selfless and distinguished service to Singapore. Many union leaders have stepped forward to pay tribute likewise. Indeed, PM Lee has made remarkable contributions to the labor movement as the leader of our country. PM, you have been a steadfast partner in advancing the interests of workers to better their wages, welfare, and work prospects. Your strategic leadership and unwavering support have strengthened the bond between the PAP and the NTUC. Your commitment to improve workers' lives is admirable. Your advocacy for fair employment practices has created opportunities for locals and uplifted our workforce. And your support for initiatives like our progressive wage model, Skills Future, has empowered workers, leading to a more inclusive and equitable society. During challenging times like COVID-19, the implementation of the Job Support Scheme, SIRS, and various financial initiatives serve as the beacon of last hope for many desperate workers in the darkest of times. All this underscore your dedication truly to safeguard workers' interests and well-being alongside our labor movement. For that, we thank you, PM. And PM, since I became a politician, I have the privilege to observe you up close, and I must say you have achieved all this with utmost skill. You have carefully achieved all this with utmost skill. You have carefully managed the dynamic balance between forging a strong economy for businesses to thrive while ensuring that workers have a fair share in wages. Having the government to be on the side of workers and on the side of employers at the same time is really the secret sauce of our unique tripartism. Many countries around the world, regardless of how desirable it is to do so, are simply not able to do so. Yet, under your leadership, Prime Minister, tripartite partners have forged together win-win-win outcomes for economic growth, better lives and livelihoods, and most critically, to build Singapore into the first world country that we are today. That is the utmost skill. And I'm sure PM will forgive me and absolve me from OSA if I tell this story from Cabinet back in 2019. Anyway, you mentioned in NDR as well. I recall a moment in Cabinet back in 2019 that left a deep impression on me. There was a briefing to Cabinet on the Southern Waterfront Redevelopment Plan, from Keppel Harbour to Sentosa, Pulau Brani, all the way to Labrador Park. It was a most exciting plan, full of possibilities for the next bound of Singapore's development. However, as I went through the 100 plus 200 slides, I felt that something was missing. Something important was missing. We needed a finishing touch, or what we call Hua Long Dian Jing, the dotting of the I of the dragon to make the plan complete. Looking back, I must have been feeling a little bit brave that day. I told you, Prime Minister, if you remember, that the plan was exciting but missing something. Our workers should have a place in the redevelopment plan. Your reply was simply, so what do you suggest? And I said, NTUC is very grateful for Downtown East, but it's tired. Can we have a Downtown South in Sentosa for our workers? This is almost verbatim according to my memory. According to PM Lee, I raised my hand, which I did not. Well, PM, you readily agreed, likewise the whole of Cabinet. I saw your leadership care in action that day, and it left a deep impression on me. Thank you, PM, for Downtown South and putting the workers in the center of Singapore's development. And brothers and sisters, this may well be my best negotiation performance in the history of NTUC May. 30 seconds for Downtown South. Well, credit to our Prime Minister and to our government for putting workers in the center of Singapore's growth and in Singapore's plans. Thank you, Prime Minister, again. Your genuine care and connection forged with our union leaders goes beyond livelihoods. While infusing your personal touch, PM, your influence extended into many personal lives. It is heartwarming to hear daughters of our union leaders call you Uncle Long. Very endearing. I do not know anywhere in the world where union leaders' kids have the Prime Minister as uncle, except in Singapore. Sisters and brothers, it shows what a leader we have in Prime Minister Lee. They have served us for 20 years. A strategic leader with a heart for workers like all of us. Let us stand and give a standing ovation to our Prime Minister. PM, somebody prepared balloons for you as well. On the side. And I must say, this is not from NTUC. This is ground up. Well, PM Lee, we owe you a debt of gratitude. The labour movement, our NTUC, wish you all the very best ahead. And to DPM Wong, our incoming PM, you have the labour movement's fullest support. You have been a consistent and strong advocate for workers, and your journey with our unions has been long-standing. You frequently engaged our union leaders from the Union of Power and Gas Employees, UPage, when you were CEO in EMA. And you continue to do so as a politician in your capacity as advisor to UPage and Batu even now. You have always had a heart for the lower income workers and vulnerable workers amongst us. You introduced the progressive wage credit scheme to uplift wages and enhanced the workfare income supplement scheme by expanding it to younger vulnerable workers. You guided Singapore through the crisis of a generation. As the co-chair of the multi-ministry task force on COVID-19, you make key decisions to protect workers and their livelihoods, such as the job growth incentives, scheme. Amongst the several national schemes to support workers, your support for the CTC initiative was particularly significant. You and your team set aside $100 million to scale up the CTCs, allowing both workers and companies to transform for the future, and ultimately to help our workers achieve better wages, welfare, and work prospects. Since then, the success of the CTC has surpassed our expectations, benefiting workers, benefiting companies, and our economy as a whole. It's truly a win-win-win. I hope to call on you, DPM, soon to scale our CTC grant as well. Our NTUC is a learning organization. Just as President Sneff sees every opportunity for businesses, NTUC has learned to do likewise. Brother Lawrence Wong, when you graced the closing event at the Every Workers Matters conversation last year, many union leaders were moved when you said the NTUC is the most important partner of our government. This sent a very strong message that our uniquely Singapore tripartite partnership will continue for many years to come under your leadership, and we look forward to it. The NTUC and our labour movement will stand alongside you, continue our strong partnership with you to benefit Singapore's working people and for the prosperity of our nation. Sisters and brothers, let me now conclude. The labour movement has positively impacted the lives and livelihoods of workers across all worker segments. We will continue to do more to champion workers' interests and do better, particularly in the PME space, because NTUC cares. We will deepen the symbiotic relationship with the PAP. We will work with the PAP government and employers to build a more prosperous Singapore and strive for better wages, welfare, and work prospects for all working people. Happy May Day to all of you, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much. Before I invite PM Lee to deliver his speech, let us watch a special appreciation video that we have prepared for PM Lee, highlighting his years of dedicated service to the labour movement. Enjoy the video.
It's in Singapore, only in Singapore. You have a dynamic and constructive labour movement. Here, we work together, union leaders take a long-term view, we have professional and rational mindsets, and we understand how business is doing.
We know the smarts of our Prime Minister. Now let us see the heart of the man.
他最关心的就是我们新加坡人，甚至我们的工人每天的生活、每天的烦恼。他最关心的就是我们工人有没有提升自己，有没有去更新一些技术上的一些问题了。新加坡的工人因为有了他，我们的生活改善了很多。工友的一些福利啦，一些工作环境啦，在我们的总理的带领下，已经改善了很多了。
So the experience with PM Lee wasn't as intimidating as I thought it would be, and that was one of the reasons what I liked about him. Regardless of our age or where we come from, we were able to voice out whatever concerns or whatever insights that we wanted to share, and it will be heard. Not many youths in our neighboring countries or in different countries get to experience or get to have the similar kind of opportunities that we have.
My husband used to message him, and the best part is he will reply immediately, and I thought that was a very good gesture.
When I was younger, they taught me to call him Uncle Loong. So for a very long time, that's what I knew him as Uncle Loong. I think he's really humble, very down to earth. He was always really kind to us.
We do not take advantage of our friendship that we had. In fact, he has even invited my husband to come over and have wine with me one day, and Rogini will say, "Papa, I think you are his only friend."
You said that.
You said that.
I was a child. I was a child.
I think, Pa, you are his only friend. That's why he's asking you to go and have wine with him.
I'm sure he has other friends.
He did have high regards. Definitely, he had high regards. Actually, my husband started off as a daily rated employee, and then when he became a full-time employee and all that, but he really cared. Even when my husband was sick, he made it a point to just go to the hospital to visit him, and I think that was very, very nice.
And the NTUC must remain a strong institution, working shoulder to shoulder with the PAP government to secure the trust of our people. This is a symbiotic relationship that has served Singapore well since our founding, and together, let us keep Singapore safe and thriving for many generations to come.
亲爱的总理，在这里我要感谢你，因为有你的鼓励和帮忙，我们新加坡工人已经提升了，我们已经改善了我们的工作环境， 我们的待遇条件。
Thank you, PM Lee, for your tireless contribution to the nation in helping to shape Singapore and its people. Your leadership, commitment to innovation and compassion has helped to create a vibrant and inclusive society. Thanks to you, the younger generation in Singapore, like me, get to have a brighter future.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for everything that you have done, not just for the nation, but also for us and for all the workers, and personally for our family too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Uncle Loon.
Wow, sisters and brothers, that was a truly touching video of Prime Minister. Yes, his steadfast dedication to the welfare of our workers has touched us all deeply. So without further ado, may we now welcome our Prime Minister, Brother Lee Hsien Loong, on stage to deliver his keynote address. Prime Minister, sir.
President of NTUC, Sister Tanaleshmi, Secretary General, Brother NTUC Meng, brothers and sisters, comrades from the PAP, my fellow Singaporeans. A very good morning and a very happy May Day to every one of you. I have spoken at almost every May Day rally since I became PM in 2004. This will be my last major speech as PM before I hand over to DPM Lawrence Wong on the 15th of May. I'm very happy to be addressing you, my brothers and sisters, in the NTUC. I would like to thank you, specifically your Sec Gen, for his very warm words, for your very warm honors to me, and for the video which brings back so many touching moments from so many years of interaction, of engagement, of working together with my brothers and sisters, with friends on the ground in many companies, in many unions, taking Singapore forward together. You have made my job today, making this speech, a little bit harder. From the beginning, so much of what we have achieved has depended on the unions and workers. The tripartite partnership between the labor movement, employers, and the government, underpinned by the symbiotic relationship between the NTUC and the PAP, has been absolutely crucial to Singapore's success. It's enabled us to grow our economy, weather economic storms, and improve the lives of workers, including in these last 20 years. So today, I want to say a big personal thank you to the labor movement and to each and every one of you. Thank you very much. We have come a long way since independence in 1965. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew and his team overcame tremendous odds to take Singapore from third world to first. With neither hinterland nor natural resources, they forged an improbable nation and laid a strong foundation for future generations. They established multiracialism as the Singapore Creed. They developed the economy, built up the SAF, and made home ownership, education, and healthcare available to all. They created a government with a reputation for integrity and competence and secured our place in the world. Mr. Goh Chok Tong took over as our second Prime Minister. He showed that it was possible to come after Mr. Lee and take Singapore further forward with a different style for a different era, with a different people, or a different generation of people. Chok Tong was a sincere and direct leader. His personal touch helped people to understand what was at stake and persuaded them to accept tough decisions. He led us through difficult times and painful economic restructuring, including the Asian financial crisis and SARS. He launched national conversations on the sort of society we aspired to become and strengthened our sense of community and national belonging. Under Chok Tong's leadership, Singapore grew and matured. We became more vibrant and open, and also more resilient and cohesive. As Prime Minister, I have sought to build on these strengths. Working closely with Singaporeans, we have improved everyone's lives. First, we grew the economy. Over 2 decades, we've become much better off. Our strategies to transform and upgrade the economy worked. Investments in promising sectors such as biotech, IT, transportation, and financial services, they paid off. Our economic base diversified. We climbed the value chain, going from factories and production lines to R&D in pharmaceuticals and nanotechnology. Now we are keeping up with dramatic breakthroughs in AI, artificial intelligence. We expanded and deepened international trade partnerships and enhanced our role as a regional hub and a global node. All these attracted MNCs to Singapore and also helped Singapore companies to develop new markets overseas. From time to time, we encountered headwinds. Right now, the economy is growing, but everyone worries about inflation and the rising cost of living. The government has expanded support measures, including CDC vouchers and many other forms of assistance, and these have helped many households. And thankfully, inflation is gradually easing off. But despite these worries and occasional setbacks, taking a longer view, economic growth has consistently delivered better jobs and higher wages for Singaporeans. Our quality of life has improved across the board, including for those with lower incomes. We built new HDB towns and high-quality public housing with green spaces, schools, polyclinics, and community amenities. For example, Punggol today is unrecognizable from the Punggol of 20 years ago. When I first became PM, most of the new town was yet to be built. It was bare land, prepared but not constructed. People thought of it as a desolate ulu place, and the older ones amongst you will remember exactly what I mean. At one early NDR, I painted our vision for Punggol 21 to set a new standard for urban living where Singaporeans could live, work, and play. Today, Punggol 21 is a reality. It's a vibrant, attractive town full of young families and their grandparents and parents, full of life. In a few months, the Singapore Institute of Technology, SIT, will move in to its new campus, which is next to the Punggol Digital District. We have Punggol Waterway, we have Coney Island, and park connectors, which offer lush greenery and welcome relief from the urban hustle and bustle. If you are looking for a beautiful place to take your wedding photos, or perhaps somewhere romantic to propose to your girlfriend or boyfriend, Punggol Waterway is a great choice. The older towns haven't been left behind. We've had MUP, LUP, HIP, SIRS, and so many other initials, alphabet soup, but each one a different upgrading program. We rejuvenated older estates, kept them up to date, made them fit for a more elderly population. And this is why, unlike public housing projects elsewhere in the world, our HDB estates never turn into slums or ghettos. For example, in Ang Mo Kio, we have upgraded nearly all the flats and spruced up the neighborhoods. We introduced silver zones and friendly streets to slow traffic down and put up colorful block signs to help older residents remember their way home. We created convenient access to a library, the Ang Mo Kio Hub, nursing homes, and town gardens. We revitalized Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park. It's across the road, but we count it as ours. The old concrete storm canal was restored to a natural state. It's now a beautiful meandering river with wildflowers along its banks, and sometimes otter families too. The park is for old folks and young people alike, for both pets and human beings, for lantern festivals, as well as National Day celebrations. Occasionally, our housing program got disrupted, and we experienced shortages and long wait times, especially with the COVID pandemic, which delayed construction. But HDB has worked hard to catch up, and I'm glad that things are now getting back on track. Public transport has improved too. The MRT map used to be very simple. It's just 2 lines, 2 colors: red, north-south, green, east-west lines. Later, we added purple, the northeast line. Today, the map is much more colorful, with yellow, the circle line, blue, the downtown line, brown, Thompson East Coast lines. Our public transport system is convenient, reliable, and affordable. We did once have an issue with rail reliability. The trains were breaking down too often. But SMRT and LTA engineers worked together hard on it, day and night, including our brothers and sisters from NTWU, National Transport Workers Union. Where are you? Take a bow. Put your hands up. There they are. Thank you. So today, the train performance has improved significantly. In Singapore, we measure everything, including frequency of breakdowns, reliability of service, and we know that nowadays our trains are as reliable as or better than most other MRT systems in the world. Surveys rank it amongst the best. Of course, Singaporeans have high expectations, so if you ask them, they will tell you, you can still do better. And we will keep on making it better. We are growing the MRT network, and there are 2 new lines to come. Akan datang, but starting work already. The Cross Island line, which is going to be light green and will pass through Ang Mo Kio. amongst other places. And the Jurong regional line, light blue. By 2030, 8 in 10 households will be within a 10-minute walk of a train station. So, while it's not possible for every household to own a car, we will make sure everyone can get around conveniently on world-class public transport. We also invested heavily in a first-class healthcare system, accessible and affordable to all. If you need a cataract operation, especially the older folks, you can get it at a subsidized and affordable fee and within a reasonable time. Everybody. If you have suffered a heart attack, that you can't wait a reasonable time. Every second counts. Once you arrive at the A&E, you'll be triaged, diagnosed, rush into the operating theater, and the surgeon will insert a little balloon into your groin, into your heart artery, inflate it, open the blockage, restore blood flow, save your life. In Singapore, all this takes, on average, about 50 minutes. This is what they call the door to balloon time. Door, you enter the A&E, balloon, the little balloon inflates, your heart muscle is saved, your life is saved. 50 minutes on average in Singapore. The international standard for this, door to balloon time, is 90 minutes. It means that in Singapore, if you have a heart attack, which unfortunately many people do, you have a much better chance of being treated in time and staying alive. So if you have an emergency, the system is there to take care of you. If the country has an emergency, we will make sure the system is there to take care of it too. Because we've kept the healthcare system up to scratch, we've tuned it up after COVID, and we want to make sure that if another pandemic like COVID hits us, we can be more assured that we'll be ready to take the load and see everyone through safely. Besides improving everyone's lives, we are creating brighter prospects and wider opportunities for the next generation, for our young. We transformed our education system. We took a broader and more holistic approach and promoted lifelong learning. We made sure that every child can benefit fully from our school system, whatever their family circumstances. No one drops out today because he or she cannot afford the fees or needs to work to support the family. We poured a lot more resources into preschools and infant care. We upgraded the preschool profession, created many more places, and increased government subsidies to make the fees very affordable to every family. In fact, for a low-income family, if you go to an anchor-operator kindergarten, it can cost you $5 a month, thereabouts. We are determined to give all our kids, regardless of their social backgrounds, the best start in life, beginning as early as we can. And we're starting to see results. Preschool attendance has improved. Kids now arrive at primary school, P1, better prepared to learn. In schools, students have multiple options and diverse pathways, which cater to a wide range of talents and interests. They aren't just limited to just traditional arts and science courses. Many schools offer specialized programs: music, dance, sports, robotics, including neighborhood schools all over Singapore. So when we say that every school is a good school, that is a good slogan. Not every slogan is a good slogan, but in Singapore, every school is a good school. And it's a good slogan because it contains a lot of truth. In Singapore, unlike in other countries, your postal code does not determine your destiny. What do I mean? Where you live, which corner of Singapore it may be, government or opposition, HDB or private property, it doesn't matter. The schools there are good, the schools all over the island are good. If you have talent, you can rise. Whatever your talents, you have opportunities, and we make sure that there are full opportunities for everyone. And the results show it. Today, nearly half of each cohort graduates from one of our autonomous universities, equipped with marketable skills, ready to join the workforce. They find jobs readily, often even before they graduate. Unlike many other countries, we have no youth unemployment problem. We have no graduate unemployment problem. Young people take up jobs that didn't even exist in their parents' generation. They become data scientists, machine learning engineers, carbon traders, novel food biotechnologists. That means you make a plant and you make it look like Wagyu beef. UX designers, social counselors, even esports coaches. You sit down, you become good at playing computer games, you can make a living. Not everybody, but some will, and there are many different paths and many different avenues to success. These are just some of the new opportunities and choices that young Singaporeans have to realize their dreams, whatever they may aspire to be. Even as the country progressed, we made every effort to leave no one behind. When I was sworn in as PM, I promised to build a more inclusive Singapore, one where it's not every man for himself, but everyone working together to make things better for all of us. We innovated boldly in social policies, just as we did in education and healthcare. One of my earliest moves was to create ComCare, to bring together our many social programs, enhance them further, and channel more resources to help the needy amongst us. We then launched Workfare to supplement the incomes of lower wage workers, and later the progressive wage model to level up wages and skills in a sustainable way. Kids Start now gives an extra boost to kids from disadvantaged homes. Comlink Plus works with vulnerable families in rental flats to uplift them and get them back on their feet. We strengthen other components of our social safety nets too. MediShield Life to protect all Singaporeans against large hospital bills for life, regardless of your health condition. CareShield Life to provide basic financial support if you become disabled and need long-term care. CPF Life to improve retirement adequacy and make sure that workers and your families will be provided for in old age. Silver Support to help seniors who had lower incomes during their working lives, or perhaps they were homemakers. The Majula Package for 1.6 million young seniors who carry heavy family burdens. And we've taken care of the pioneer and Merdeka generations too, to whom we owe so much. Equally important, we empowered and mobilized activists and volunteers who care very much about building an inclusive society, not just to feedback and demand services, but also to step forward and do their part. People like Mayor Denise Phua. The PAP fielded Denise as a candidate in 2006 at the GE. When she came before the Secretary General's Committee and we interviewed her, she told us the government needed to do more to help kids with special needs. She spoke passionately about Pathlight School, the first autism-focused school in Singapore, which she had recently helped to set up. We told her, if you take the lead, the government will support you. She took up the challenge. She built up Pathlight into a well-known, well-run, popular choice for kids on the autism spectrum. Later, together with other activists and volunteers, Denise co-founded the Purple Parade movement. If you see me wearing purple on Instagram, you know why. Thousands of Singaporeans come together each year to support inclusion and to celebrate the abilities of people with disabilities. They have a very good orchestra. If you listen to them, they are equal to many other orchestras in Singapore. Such ground-up initiatives have raised the quality and standing of the special education sector and shifted public mindsets. Singaporeans have become more ready to step up to help those in need. There's less stigma attached to people with disabilities. Parents are more willing to accept that their kid has special needs and to seek and receive intervention early on. People with special needs have many more enabling opportunities. And this is a big part of leaving no Singaporean behind. I'm also proud of how Singaporeans take pride in our work and strive for excellence. Not everyone can be at the top of the totem pole, but whatever our role is in society, we take our responsibilities seriously, show mastery in our work, and try to do our jobs well. And whatever the role of the person is you are talking to, you talk to him as equals, you respect him, you engage him, and 平起平坐. We are Singaporeans together. So often, when talking to teachers, healthcare workers, public transport crew, home team and SAF personnel, private sector staff, employees, managers, I'm struck by their pride and motivation to excel. They brief me knowledgeably and confidently. I ask them questions, they know how to answer. There's mutual respect and decorum. There's no bowing and scraping. All this, the trade unions helped us to establish. When teachers spend hours of their own time giving remedial lessons to students who need extra help, turning discipline cases into EduSave Eagles Award winners, you can't help but feel their commitment and passion. When policemen and SCDF personnel not only put their lives on the line at work, but also come forward as first responders, even when off duty, and sometimes if they're on a date, their girlfriend comes forward to help too. That's not just training and discipline, but reflects deep professionalism self-motivation, and sense of duty. And when healthcare teams go the extra mile for patients, not just the surgeon who operates on you, but also all the other healthcare professionals in the team, the operating theater team, the nurses, the dietitians, the therapists, who look after you post-op to ensure that you recover well and without complications. These are people who have not just a job, but a vocation and a passion to serve. Ours is a society that takes pride in whatever we do and makes a point of doing it well. A society that's egalitarian and meritocratic in its ethos, where those who have done well feel a sense of duty to give back to the society that nurtured them. This fundamental mindset permeates our whole society. Because we got these fundamentals right, we were prepared and resilient when crisis hit. In the global financial crisis in 2008, we expected the worst. Nobody could tell what would happen to the global economy. We feared a prolonged, deep recession and mass unemployment. But with our strong reserves, we rolled out the Jobs Credit Scheme and Special Risk Sharing Initiative to help businesses and workers weather the storm. Unions worked with employers to cut costs, save jobs. These measures worked much better than we hoped, and our economy recovered faster than expected. As Lim Swee Say used to say, we upturned the downturn. More recently, COVID-19 gave us the fright of our lives. People were scared because of all the unknowns, scared of the virus, scared to fall sick, worried about the economy, fearful for their jobs. We feared the worst, and it could easily have turned out that way. But Singaporeans worked together and trusted and looked after one another. We drew deeply on our financial reserves, our social cohesion, and our shared determination to protect lives and livelihoods. The unions did their part again, so we not only pulled through, but emerged stronger, faring much better than many other countries. We became a stronger people, a better society, a more unified nation. Our track record of keeping our own house in order has been key to building up our standing in the world. Wherever I go, whether to a big or small country, whether to an advanced country in the West, or a developing state in Africa or Latin America, people have high regard for Singapore. They may not know a lot about us, but they have heard enough to be impressed and to want to emulate us. It is always humbling when I meet other leaders at international conferences who ask me, "Where are you from?" And after I introduce myself, they say, "I wish my country could be like Singapore." But we must never let this get to our heads. On the contrary, we must zealously uphold our reputation and work hard to build it up through active, creative, and principled diplomacy. Hence, we've spoken up on Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the Israel-Hamas war. We enhanced cooperation with our closest neighbors and settled some long-standing issues with them. For example, the Malayan Railways land deal with Malaysia and the expanded framework agreements with Indonesia. With big powers, we maintain good relations despite growing geopolitical tensions between them. At international forums like the UN, WTO, or climate change conferences, we do our part and strive to be a constructive and reliable player. And we've built up a reputation Singaporean ministers and officials, they know their stuff and they make a contribution. This is how a small country can make friends, advance our interests, and stand tall. Singaporeans have every reason to be proud of our international standing, proud of what we've achieved together, and proud to call ourselves Singaporeans. Long may this little red dot long may this little red dot shine brightly in the world. The next chapter of the Singapore story is off to a strong start. I see a very challenging period ahead. There are many uncertainties in the world. Rising tensions and rivalry between big powers. Deglobalization and protectionism. Technological advances and climate change. Questions of war and peace. In many countries, people are anxious and worried, and Singaporeans are concerned too. In fact, I would be worried if Singaporeans took the future lightly and blithely assumed that we could simply cruise along and all would be well. If you weren't worried, I would be worried. Because as a small and open country, we will inevitably be caught up by powerful external forces and geopolitical currents. Our diverse society makes us especially vulnerable to what happens around us, outside Singapore. But thankfully, compared to most other countries, we are not at all badly off. Still, we have to continue to focus on nation building and to make the most of our strengths. The world has changed, and we must come up with updated, creative responses. But some hard truths have not changed. And these imperatives will stay relevant in the years ahead. So let me highlight 3 of them to you. First, imperative, social cohesion. What do I mean? Race, language, and religion. And these are the traditional fault lines in our society. We've made huge efforts to build a shared Singaporean identity, to live and work together harmoniously as a multiracial and multi-religious society based on meritocracy and equal opportunity. And we've made great progress in this. But we will always be subject to external forces that pull different segments of our population in different directions. We can't disavow our diverse ethnic roots and religious affinities. We want to keep them. Chinese Singaporeans have links with China, some way or other. Indian Singaporeans with their various ancestral homes in India. Malay Singaporeans with the rest of our region, and with the global Muslim Ummah, the community of Muslims worldwide. These are real, emotional, historical, cultural, deep ties. They can be vulnerabilities, yet we do not want to lose these rich cultural and historical heritages. We've inherited them from our forefathers, and they contribute much to our Singaporean identity, our sense of who we are in the world. Because we didn't just descend from Mars. We have history, long histories, proud histories, ancestors, heritages, traditions, many of which we want to keep for ourselves and pass on to our children and grandchildren. Therefore, for us, racial and religious harmony will always be a continuing work in progress. Never think that we have solved the problem and that we've left it behind. It will always be with us, and we also have to be conscious of other potential divisions in our society. between the haves and the have-nots, the Singaporean-born and naturalized citizens, conservatives and liberals, current and future generations. All these differences can be exploited politically to pit Singaporeans one against another and divide and weaken us. Hence, we've got to continue to work hard to overcome social stresses and tensions, to enlarge our common space and strengthen our shared Singaporean identity. It's not a static identity. It grows, it evolves over time. We are not a specimen in the museum, like that 10 years ago, like that 20 years ago, like that 50 years from now. It will grow, it will evolve. The world changes, we adapt, we move forward. We have to guide that evolution as best we can, sensitively and thoughtfully. And that's why we moved on the Tudong issue and repealed Section 377A of the Penal Code. These were controversial and difficult issues, but I decided to tackle them and not to let them fester or to pass them along to my successors. So we prepared the ground carefully, worked out practical compromises, and moved to a more sustainable, long-term position while fostering mutual understanding and acceptance. Always when we're dealing with controversial issues, we accept that differences exist, but we will avoid accentuating them. Accept them, don't accentuate them. Instead, we foster compromise, strive to enlarge a common space, establish the broadest consensus possible. We'll always have fault lines to watch and mind, never forget. Whatever our differences, we are all Singaporeans, first and foremost. And only thus can we survive and thrive in a contested and fractured world. Second, long-term planning. It's the responsibility of every government in every country, not just to deal with pressing immediate problems, but also to have the vision and the sense of stewardship to peer beyond the horizon and plan far ahead. But most governments find it very hard to do. Many are consumed by immediate problems or political crisis. They lack the support or the bandwidth to think further ahead. To put it in Singaporean language, where got time? But the PAP government has always planned and acted for the long term, deliberately and systematically. Look where we are gathered today for May Day in an integrated resort at Marina Bay. When did this begin? The government started thinking about reclaiming land here in the 1960s, in the first years of our independence. The reclamation project began in 1971, more than 50 years ago. Then we had to let the reclaimed land settle, master plan the new downtown, and build it phase by phase. 20 years ago, we started talking about IRs. This was one of my first major decisions as PM, whether or not to allow IRs in Singapore, which would introduce casino gambling to Singapore. After a full public debate, we decided to proceed, but with suitable safeguards in place. So if you go downstairs afterwards to have a fling, Singaporeans, I think $150 now entrance fee. So the IRs opened in 2010, just in time to catch the recovery from the global financial crisis, and they took off. Today, we not only have the IRs, but also Gardens by the Bay, the Marina Barrage, Marina Reservoir, the Marina South Downtown, and an iconic skyline around the bay. After half a century, today we've built a Marina Bay that we can all be proud of. But Marina Bay is not done. Singapore is not done. We'll continue to grow and to develop Marina Bay and Singapore for decades to come. What do we want to see in Singapore 50 years from now? Here are some plans already in the pipeline. We are building a new megaport at Tuas and a new Terminal 5 at Changi to strengthen our air and sea hubs. We will reclaim a long island along the east coast to protect ourselves from rising sea levels and create more land and another freshwater reservoir. We always try to hit several birds with one stone. We will redevelop Paya Lebar after relocating Paya Lebar Air Base, as well as the Greater Southern Waterfront after PSA moves to Tuas, to create new spaces for future generations to live, work, and play, and accommodate a new NTUC Downtown South. We will decarbonize our economy to reach net zero carbon emissions and do our part to mitigate climate change. It's going to be a very difficult journey, this last one, but we have to do it. And I have no doubt that the next team and their successors will conceive more creative and ambitious projects which will challenge us, inspire us, and take our country to the next level. These projects will take decades to come to fruition. They are acts of faith in Singapore's future. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew memorably said, shortly after independence, over 100 years ago, this was a mudflat swamp. Today, this is a modern city. 10 years from now, this will be a metropolis. Never fear. And this must forever be our mindset. Thinking long-term, working towards it with patience and determination, and building lasting strength for Singapore, way beyond our own generation, for the next 50 years, for the next 100 years. This brings me to the third fundamental principle, imperative, political stability and trust. We cannot sustain long-term planning and effort if our politics is fractured. The whole Singapore system is anchored on a strong base of trust between the people and their government. The people elected a PAP government. The PAP government works hard to maintain the people's trust and support. It shows through words and through deeds that it has the nation's best interests at heart and is improving your lives. And therefore, at each election, 15 times in a row, the PAP has won a renewed mandate, fair and square, and continued to deliver results for Singaporeans. Very few other countries work like this. You name me one. We were fortunate to start off on the right footing. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew and Mr. Goh Chok Tong and their teams established the fundamentals of good government. They were unshakably committed to meritocracy and incorruptibility. They worked hard to build a system that would endure beyond their own terms as PM. My team and I have done our best to steward Singapore and safeguard its future. Our successors must do the same. Getting our politics right is absolutely crucial. Please understand, we have succeeded and Singapore has made exceptional economic and social gains because our system is exceptional. It's not because we are ordinary, we pass. It's because we are exceptional. Distinction with star. Then only can you have performance that's a distinction with star. The system doesn't have to fail outright for Singapore to get into trouble. Even if we just become ordinary, average, we will already be in serious trouble. Because we have no natural resources, no hinterland. 700 square kilometers is nothing. If our politics becomes like other countries, we will end up worse than other countries, not the same as them, but worse off. Graver still, if our system malfunctions, becomes beset by populism, tribalism, nativism, or obsessed by short-term gains like some other countries, then we will certainly be sunk. All our reserves will not last very long, nor will they count for much. There's no need to ask how much money is in the bank. You can have a lot, but if you've gone that way, the country's gone wrong, it won't save you. Therefore, it's crucial that all of us uphold this ethos of exceptionalism and excellence. It's crucial that we maintain political stability. The system will evolve with time, but it has to evolve in a way that continues to serve Singapore's interests, serve your interests. And that gives us the best shot of building a brighter future for Singapore. The labor movement understands this well. You've been with the PAP since the very beginning, long before independence. Our symbiotic partnership was born in a crucible of fire. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew started on his political journey by representing the Postal Workers' Union in the postmen's strike in 1952. He championed their cause and won them fair terms from the colonial government. When Mr. Lee and his comrades formed the PAP 2 years later, in 1954, to contest the Legislative Assembly elections, the postmen mobilized and helped him win his first election in Tanjong Pagar. You probably know this, you should know this, but you may not know that when the Postmen's Union approached Mr. Lee to act for them in 1952, when they first approached him, it was just around the time that I was being born. And so, when my father visited my mother and me in KKH, Kandang Kerbau Hospital, instead of admiring his new baby, he was telling my mother all about the Postmen's Union and his plans. As a young boy, I met many union activists. They would visit our home at Oxley Road for meetings, especially during election campaigns. I knew that my father was the legal advisor to many trade unions. I wasn't quite sure what being a legal advisor meant, but I took great pride in this. To me, the unions were on the side of the good, supporting the PAP to fight for independence from the British. So they were the good guys. And indeed, without union support, the PAP could not have won the 1959 general election to take power for the first time. After separation, with the support of the non-communist unions, the PAP led Singapore safely through the difficult first years of nationhood and took Singapore from third world to first. Tripartism played a vital role in this journey. The crucial turning point was NTUC's Modernization Seminar, 1969, which was when we replaced the old adversarial approach, unions versus employers, with a cooperative tripartite strategy based on trust and confidence. We formed the National Wages Council, established a constructive process for tripartite annual wage negotiations, and assured workers of their fair share of economic growth. We built up the habit of cooperation and mutual trust between the tripartite partners. In 1985, Singapore ran into a sudden, severe recession. We had to slash business costs to restore competitiveness, including by cutting employer CPF contributions. It was effectively a wage cut for everyone, and it was a most difficult and painful decision. I remember this vividly because I chaired the Economic Committee which made this recommendation. I was grateful to have the full support of Mr. Ong Teng Cheong, who was then the NTUC Sec Gen, and the union leaders. Together, we persuaded the workers that the CPF cut was unavoidable and that it would help secure their jobs. Fortunately for the doctors, the bitter medicine worked and events proved us right. The economy revived within the year. No other country could have implemented such a draconian policy, gotten unions and workers to accept it, and made it work. But Singapore workers knew we had their backs. And we still do. We will always have your backs. In the following decades, we ran into even bigger crises. The Asian financial crisis was followed by the global financial crisis, and most recently, we endured the crisis of a generation, the COVID pandemic. But by now, the tripartite partners knew what to do, and each time we pulled through with our workers safe and our partnership strengthened. It's not only during crisis that tripartism proves its worth. Singapore's dramatic progress would have been impossible without tripartism. Neither would it have happened had the PAP government not done its part. The PAP has worked hard to provide Singapore with a good government that you deserve. We've not only created prosperity and progress for our nation, but ensured that every Singaporean benefits from the fruits of growth. Through the symbiotic relationship with the PAP, the NTUC has done right by workers and helped them and their families to enjoy a better life. As Mr. Lee Kuan Yew said, at the NTUC's 50th anniversary in 2011, I quote him, "Growth is meaningless unless it is shared by the workers, shared not only directly in wage increases, but indirectly in better homes, better schools, better hospitals, better playing fields, and generally a healthier environment for families to bring up their children." Today, in the 70th year of the PAP's founding, and after 20 years as your PM, I can tell you in all good conscience that both the NTUC and the PAP have delivered on our promises to Singaporeans. Therefore, once again, thank you very much, NTUC. In future, the unions will play an even more crucial role as we deal with geopolitical and economic uncertainty. I'm glad the unions are transforming yourselves to remain relevant. You reach beyond blue-collar workers to look after graduates, professionals, platform workers, and the self-employed. As SecGen said just now, 45% of your members are now PMEs. Well done. You form CTCs, company training committees, in hundreds of firms to plan and execute training and upgrading programs together with the employers. Your SecGen didn't brag about his negotiating skills apropos this item, but when he put it up, he also asked for a budget and we also agreed within 30 seconds. You found ways to be with it and be hip in order to reach out to younger workers, even while they are still in post-secondary institutions, through NIBO, another Lim Swee Say coinage. Nobody enjoys being ordinary. And the young NTUC. You push for stronger support for families and caregiving and greater gender equality, and showed by example. You elected 3 female NTUC presidents. And you nurtured the first female president of the Republic of Singapore. Before every May Day rally, I meet union leaders to hear their feedback and concerns. This year, they talked about getting workers to understand how fierce the competition is from other countries and what we must do to stay in the game. How older workers worry about keeping up with technological progress, while younger ones want work-life balance. They also discussed the future of the tripartite partnership and how it must carry on with the next generation of leaders. I have always found the unionists' views pertinent and invaluable, and I'm sure my successors will too. Looking ahead, there are certainly dark clouds on the horizon, but also many opportunities. Even in a deglobalizing, distrustful world, countries still have to find some way to work with one another. When rivals harbor doubts about one another, trustworthiness commands a premium, and Singapore can be a trusted partner. When countries find it hard to maintain a steady path and decide every few months to change directions and switch leaders, Singapore's stability and predictability is a tremendous advantage. One day after I have stepped down, I will tally up all the letters of congratulations I have written to foreign leaders in my 20 years as PM. We can compile a book. But it's not a joke, because with the churn, there's no hope of consistent direction, of strong leadership, of mobilizing the population, of pressing ahead and making great progress. But we have done that. And we have built a strong foundation for our future generations, with adequate reserves to tide over extreme difficulties, with international respect that gives us a seat at the table, with a cohesive society that hangs together in the darkest hours, and a vibrant and inclusive economy that creates opportunities and hope for all Singaporeans. Make the most of these advantages. Never throw them away. Stay united. Think long-term, maintain our political stability. That is the way forward for Singapore. My fellow Singaporeans, this is my 40th year in politics. It's been my great honor to have served you, including as your Prime Minister. I have strived to lead you and to govern Singapore in the way you deserve, to mobilize Singaporeans to show what we can do together. I have also prepared a leadership team to succeed me that deserves your confidence and support. As I prepare to hand over Singapore in good order to my successor, I feel a sense of satisfaction and completeness. I have done my duty, and I'm very happy that I chose this path of public service all those many years ago. But leading a country is never a one-man job. It's always the effort of a national team. Your unwavering support enabled us to get here with the country in good shape and heading in the right direction. I'm deeply grateful to the ministers, MPs, and grassroots and union leaders who stood with me throughout, more than one generation of them, some of whom have already passed on. To our outstanding public service, committed to improving Singaporeans' lives. To the labor movement, working tirelessly to improve the everyday lives of workers and their families. Most of all, I'm humbled by and grateful for Singaporeans' trust, confidence, and support. And to all of you, I say a very big thank you. I will continue to support the new Prime Minister and his team and to help Singapore to succeed in every way I can. Lawrence Wong will be taking over from me in 2 weeks' time, 15th of May. I have every confidence in Lawrence and his team. The 4G will have their hands full, dealing with issues which will arise and realizing their forward SG agenda. I ask all Singaporeans to rally behind them and work together to make Singapore succeed for your sake. That is our path forward for each generation to steward Singapore to the best of its ability so that the next generation can take on a better Singapore and in turn lead our nation onwards and upwards. Thank you very much. Majulah Singapura.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Brother Lee, may we now respectfully request for you to remain on stage. NTUC has prepared an appreciation gift for our Prime Minister. May I now invite NTUC Secretary General Brother Ng Chee Meng and NTUC President Sister Tana on stage for the presentation of the appreciation gift. To honor Prime Minister Lee's contribution to workers over the past 20 years, NTUC has prepared a commemorative book entitled Every Prime Minister Matters. Our salute to Brother Lee Hsien Loong. We have written a heartfelt poem in appreciation of Prime Minister Lee's dedication to workers and the labor movement. Come on, everybody. Our Prime Minister, Brother Lee. We would now like to invite Deputy Prime Minister, Brother Lawrence Wong, to join Prime Minister on stage, NTUC Secretary General, Brother Ng, as well as NTUC President, Sister Tana, for a photo, please. Let us welcome Deputy Prime Minister, Brother Lawrence Wong. In recognition of the unwavering support of our Prime Ministers, current and future, their presence here today symbolizes the seamless continuity of Singapore's leadership. I would like to invite four of you to please remain on stage at this point in time, as Sister Tana would be leading us in the recital of the May Day resolution shortly. We also like to invite our tripartite partners to join us on stage now. Minister for Manpower, Brother Tan See Leng. President of Singapore National Employers Federation, Brother Robert Yap. And our NTUC Central Committee members, please join us on stage. Sisters and brothers, please join us as we reaffirm our commitment to the workers of Singapore. Let us recite this loud and clear. Sister Tana, over to you.
We, the labour movement of Singapore, resolve to advance the interests of all workers. We put Singapore and workers at the heart of everything we do. We help workers be ready, relevant, and resilient. With our tripartite partners and the People's Action Party, we strive for better wages, welfare, and work prospects for our workers. Together, we create a better future for all because every worker matters. Majulah NTUC!
Majulah NTUC!
Majulah PAP!
Majulah PAP!
Majulah Singapura!
Majulah Singapura! And now, sisters and brothers, please join in as we sing our favorite song, Solidarity Forever! That's right, you can join hands and sing along. NTUC. Come on, everyone! Solidarity forever with a strong NTUC. sisters and brothers, as our Prime Minister, Brother Lee Hsien Loong, should be taking his leave shortly, our flag party are standing in their lines of honor to honor Prime Minister Lee's unwavering dedication and steadfast support and contribution to the labour movement and tripartism. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Our Prime Minister, Brother Lee, taking his leave, and of course, the flag bearers are standing in their lines of honor. Come on, let's give him a rousing round of applause for his unwavering dedication and support to the labour movement for the past 20 years. A big thank you to all of you, our sisters and brothers. We have come to the end of our May Day Rally 2024. Once again, thank you, sisters and brothers, for coming together to celebrate this joyous occasion at Marina Bay Sands. May we invite the rest of our sisters and brothers to take your leave. Thank you, and we will see all of you again next year. Wishing everyone a happy May Day and enjoy the rest of your day. Happy May Day, everyone!